My name's Mary Swan and I'm Artistic Director of Proteus and Director of the Taming of the Shrew. The play was put together by myself and the Proteans. They're our adult drama workshop group, and they grew out of participatory projects that the company did several years ago when I first joined Proteus. And we realised that there were a lot of people who really enjoyed creating drama, who wanted to interact with professional artists and who didn't have the opportunity to do that in any other shape or form. And most of the members are members of other operatic societies or amateur dramatic societies. And they come together into the Proteans to make work as and when they want to. So we've begun to make a piece of Shakespeare every summer, which is now outdoors. This is our third year of outdoor Shakespeare. And then they also make work at Christmas as well. And the opportunity is there too for them to make work of their own. So in the past, they've generated their own pieces and performed those at Central Studio in Basingstoke as well. We came up with the concept of setting the play in the Regency period for 1 week of the performances. There's actually another week of the performances with the other half of the cast in the main roles, and they're in the 60s. So we came up with two very distinct concepts. And the reason we did this was we were really interested in finding ways to bring a sense of how Shakespeare's play has resonance for a modern audience. It's famously supposedly quite a sexist piece, but I think for a modern audience we can see the subtleties that Shakespeare's trying to get at, and as a woman it was a real challenge to take on the piece and to find where those subtleties could be, and they're all there in the text. So on the surface it's a very straightforward Regency, Jane Austen-esque retelling of the Taming of the Shrew, but we've thrown a whole bunch of pop songs in there as well and a lot of modern references, so hopefully it has something to say to contemporary audiences. Proteus is funded by Basingstoke and Deane Borough Council, Hampshire County Council and East Hampshire District Council. And we get funding from other places as well, so when we're working with distinct groups like military families or women escaping domestic violence, we will go to trusts and foundations, businesses, other sources of funding, the Arts Council, places like that for the money that we need to make our work. The public funding for the arts is vitally important. Organisations like Proteus just simply cannot survive without it. There has to be a sense of infrastructure in order for us to go and find the other money to make the work and for us to work in very hard to reach communities. Proteus has worked for over 10 years with adults with learning disabilities and physical disabilities, and that work simply can't happen unless there's the infrastructure of a company to make it happen with us. The problem is a lot of people assume that there is an either or with funding for the arts, that either it's collecting your bins or funding the arts. We don't think that way about hospitals and schools. I'm not quite sure why we think that way about our culture and our bin collection. What the arts do for people is not just to make future artists, but it helps people to live longer, be happier, it helps them have a good mental health and physical health, and it really creates human beings as opposed to other artists.